What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. On today's figure review, we're going to be taking a look at now of Kong from the Godzilla vs. Kong Playmates figure line. And here, as I said before, in the Godzilla video, I wanted to pretty much just go through all the figures that pretty much look identical to one another in terms of, of articulation and shape. But of course, they are going to have one difference, and that difference being as far as what they come with in their packaging and the colorization, and I guess overall their visual appearance. Alright, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and go through these 4 versions of Kong that were released from Playmates. Now, oh my goodness, where is he? Where is Fierce Zilla Jr.? Now that he wasn't there for the Godzilla one, but where the heck is he? Whoa, what? Who are you? Who the heck are you? Oh, okay, but oh man, that's probably why Fierce Zilla Jr.'s not here. Alright then, I guess you're stuck with me for this figure review then. Alright, why don't you, I don't know, just chill off to the side and we'll end the video together once I'm done. Alright, sound good? Oh man, what a weird... Okay, anyway, that's beside the point. Okay, so first up, let's go ahead and look at what came out in the first wave from the Godzilla vs. Kong Playmates. And this figure that's here up front came out in 2020 of the Playmates figure line that was released then at that time. I believe everything else was pretty much released in 2021. So we pretty much didn't expect another wave, a second wave, and on of more figures from Playmates for Godzilla vs. Kong in the following year. And so here with the Kong, so probably do a little more better explain of what I'll do here. So what I'll do from here on out, so I'll go through the articulation as far as what they all have in common, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much gonna be it. And then along the way you'll see of what's different. But here, start off first with this figure. Now, with articulation for this Kong figure, or I should say figures, they all can rotate their legs all the way around. And you could bend the leg at 2 different points on the body here on the leg. So As you can see right here, this is what makes it bend like that. And then here's another point where you can bend it. You can bend it as much as it'll go, like that, or all the way back. So he's like standing on one foot. And then as far as how back it can go, that's how far back it can go. And with the arms, you can rotate them all the way around. And you can go up or down. And same thing, elbows. And right here too, at the elbow to here, it can rotate. This part can also rotate all the way around. Also the same on the other side. And with the hands can rotate all the way around, and likewise over here, same thing, but of what's different for each hand on the Kong figure. So on the left side, so this is the left, his hand is closed, but here on the right, his hand is open to hold something, and in this instance, with the accessory that came with this Kong figure, it comes with the battle axe. And as far as with the detailing of the battle axe, as you see, this is the standard and original version of the battle axe. And as you can see in the back, there's another one that we'll get to. So here with this one, it's painted as far as the base of where you're holding it. It's brown. And here of the sharp pointy ends is resembling of a Godzilla dorsal plate that has been strapped together with a bone of some kind to form the weapon of the battle axe. And as far as with all the figures, they all have a scar marking of where Godzilla had scratched and scarred Kong on his chest, and that marking can be very recognizable as to at what point in the movie Godzilla got all crazy and almost, well, let's face it, pretty much destroyed Kong at that point in that particular moment, if you know what I'm talking about. But anywho, as far as with the paint job on the figure, it's mostly of like a light brown color with patches of areas on his, like on his hands, his feet, his chest, and on his face of a dark shade of black. And with the eyes, they are orange with a black pupil, and with the mouth, they're kind of like a yellowish teeth. And then you can see there with the tongue, a very red tongue there. Yeah, and with the chest, it feels all like here on the front, like all smooth. And same would go with the head, as far as with the rest of his body, kind of to give that texture of, since Kong is, as far as like how Godzilla, he has mostly the scales, and with Kong, mostly has the fur on all over his body. And that's pretty much the back of Kong. And there's the bottom. And as far as with the articulation in the head, yeah, you can rotate that all the way around. And last but not least, you can take off a piece of Kong. And again, here we have another battle damaged figure. And as I said before, that's mostly going to be with the Godzillas, the Kongs, and also with other figures that came out also along with Godzilla and Kong. Now, for this one, might be a little bit more tricky in taking off, but no problem. There you go. And that's where the battle damage reveal is for all the Kong figures that have this same mold of the figure. Yep, and there we have it. Now, it's a little bit tricky when you get it back on, but you just gotta have it angled at a good spot, and you can just pop that right back into his shoulder. And there we have the articulation and other similar key details that all the Kong figures have. Now, gonna go ahead and set him there. And then next up here, we got, and I believe, trying to go in order here of what was released. So I think it was the fighter jet Kong, and then the Hong Kong battle Kong, and the Antarctic Kong. But again, with here, we have the Kong with fighter jet. In that one, it comes where with Kong has a fighter jet where you can have it in his hand to throw at Godzilla. Now, one also, well, couple differences here. So with this Kong, he is a very lighter shade. Well, let's just do this. So here you can obviously tell that this Kong here on the left, the fighter jet one, is a little bit lighter in terms of color compared to the Kong with battle axe. And there you can see for yourself. Well, okay, lighter in terms of like on the chest, the hands, and the feet. And then kind of reverse to where I'd say you be the judge of who you say has a lighter shade of fur on them. The way how I feel like it would be is probably the one that's lighter in terms of the fur would probably be the one on the right, and then on the left, the fighter jet, he looks a little bit more, has a little bit more of a darker brown than the one with the battle axe. But another key detail that's different is that most of them, they have a closed mouth with some teeth sticking out, whereas the battle axe one, it has his mouth open to where he's, roaring about, getting ready to, go to battle. To whereas with all these ones, he's like smirking a little bit, showing a little bit of that teeth, but with a closed mouth. But yeah, that's what it comes with. Is for this one, the fighter jet. And then the eyes so far are still, well, for all of them, from now you can see, still pretty much looks the same. And here, which I think was the third one as far as from what I got up here, I believe that this one was the third release of this, this mold of the figure, but painted to reflect the Hong Kong battle. And here we got this Kong, also has closed mouth, is painted with a little bit more different colors here than usual, and has the same scarring on his chest, but a little bit more noticeable compared to the first two that we just saw. So with the colors, again, he has the colors that reflect that Hong Kong battle, and that is a mix of the blue and the purple. So here, he mostly has that to where you can, if you were to pose him, or when you see this figure in its packaging, it's painted to where you can see, to where you can see. That's where it's mostly been painted at. And that's going to be the same thing on this arm. It's not really painted all the way through like the Godzilla one, which that one is painted pretty much all over his body, but I guess for whatever reason they didn't go through with, I don't know, maybe could have even painting at least either mostly all the way around, or even the legs, but unfortunately the legs don't even have any kind of blue or purple pinkish paint on them. And he partially has some blue here at his sides, and he got some a little bit of blue at his chin beard, and same thing here, partially barely the little blue right there, and not so much at the back. Now with the battle axe for this Kong, now for his, it's pretty much the same mold also too as well, with the way how the standard one is, but just painted differently to reflect again the Hong Kong battle colorization. And here it consists of brown and I guess purple, pinkish, pink. I'd say I'd go with pink, the pink color, but unfortunately, it's not painted on the other side. It's just all brown, which is disappointing. But yeah, that's pretty much what you're gonna get out of for this guy of the Hong Kong Battle Kong. And last but not least, here we got the Antarctic Kong, and he comes with one of these flying transportation vehicles. Now, as far as with how this Kong looks, this Kong is particularly from that moment to where they get him to, well, one of the Antarctic bases there to get to the Hollow Earth, and that just resembles Kong's first time being in the snow. And the white stuff is pretty much, that's what it is just snow in his fur. So that's pretty much, again, I would say a little bit similar to the way how this guy is painted, to where it's mostly painted to where you can just see, and you'll, well, understand why. To where, okay, the difference here, well, I guess with that, it's probably would have been a little bit easier, where I guess they could have just gotten a paintbrush and then just did that thing with the brush, and just, if you know what I mean, if you're a painter and want to get that effect of a bunch of dots like that, or to reflect something of snow. But yeah, here you can see most spots to where he's not covered all the way in snow. But I guess that was probably a little bit easier to do as compared to painting. But I guess you just get what you get most of the time for the paint job of a figure. And then, of course, you could always take it upon yourself to do a custom painted version of the figure as well. But yeah, that's pretty much as far as how he's painted based on that Antarctic scene. And again, another Kong with a closed mouth. Okay. Now, last but not least to show you guys, before we close out, here, as I mentioned before, about taking it upon yourself to do a custom, this one, before I show it, again, was another custom that I did that I wanted to give a try of customizing my own Kong, as it's been really cool to see of how others customize their figures. And I did that for quite a few of Playmates figures, some from the Godzilla vs. Kong Playmates line, and the others from the other new releases, like such as Rodan, the Burning Godzilla. But yeah, without further ado, here is my custom painted Kong. Yeah, so with this one, I tried making it like a little bit of a lighter color, but that kind of took a different turn. So, I mean, this was the end result here. And then with the battle axe, I made it, a little bit more brighter in terms of like the bone and the dorsal plate here, and made sure it was painted everything all the way around. And if you want to take a guess of what mold of the figure that I used, here's your clue. Has some of the paint right here. This spot is coming off. But yeah, this one was pretty much a custom painted off from this guy, the Hong Kong Battle Kong. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. And there he is all the way around. And then I made the scar a little bit more pop out as like a way of like showing like where Godzilla had just scratched him, and like, the blood and all is like partially coming out from that scar now. And then with the eyes, pretty much, don't know really what's the background of our, or, where we have a little bit white, or mostly light, and then here at the center, black, and then like with a white pupil, and then with the teeth, pretty much white. And yeah, colors that I used were like a mix between black, red, and brown. Or no, probably black and red to get that maroon-like color. And then just mixing it in with the other ones to make it look like how it is now. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for the review on these Kong figures. Let's see what our new friend has to say about it now. Alright, so I guess since you're new here to, well, on the Fierce Zilla channel, do you got any final thoughts on the Playmates Kong figure line? Any final words that you'd like to share based off, you know, of what's been reviewed so far? Okay, and I guess that's all the time we have on this review. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Stay tuned for more videos in the future. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the Fierce Zilla. And you can also follow the Fierce Zilla on Instagram, which will be linked in the description below. See you guys in the next video.